Welcome to Faith, Fiction, and Folklore, or as we like to call it, the Tri-F Podcast. Trevor, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. Cody isn't here.
What's you doing?
I don't know. He's apparently at OKC going to a concert or something. So, good for him. Hope he enjoys it. And he'll be back next week, and we will have our debate with Jeremiah, I believe, after that.
We'll see.
But for tonight, he's back, Trevor.
Who?
I'm going to play the clip I already told you about before the show, but this is the gimmick, so we're running with it.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Who am I talking about? Brandon
All right.
Biggs. Brandon Biggs. I thought we were done. Trevor. I was like, I've said my piece. I am not sure if he's a prophet or not. You and Cody made it clear you didn't think he was a prophet. And I was like, okay, I think we've chased it. But then he was on Alex Jones. I wasn't looking for him.
When was he on Alex Jones?
The 17th. Now, I get my news. At least one of the places I get my news is Alex Jones. So I wasn't looking for him. I was on, band.video, and he just pops up. And then he's talking about warnings regarding Inauguration Day on Monday.
Oh, fun.
And I'm like, Brandon Biggs, Alex Jones, Inauguration Day. Well, I've got to.
Are you going to watch that?
The inauguration? Yes. If our show... When I had my old YouTube show, A Renegade Reason, I did a live reaction to the whole inauguration. If the show is not political, so I don't think we probably will, but I would like to. I would like to react to the inauguration. Cool.
What time is it?
Could. I don't know when it is. Hang on a minute. Let me look.
Because we might just do that. Just do a live.
An apolitical inauguration reaction.
Yes.
What time? Stop telling me game day. Okay, so traditionally it's January 20th at this is the time. January 20th at 11 a.m. So it's at 11 a.m. I don't think that would time for you. You got work, don't you?
Yes, I'll be at work.
Yeah.
But I could listen to it with you.
Nah.
I just wouldn't really be able to chat with you.
No, I think there are much more reliable people to listen to that too. So, I don't know, man. But Brandon Biggs is talking about the inauguration, and he's got prophecies. He's got prophecies about it. So...
What are they?
Well, I'm going to let him say it because first I'm going to find them on the video, and this is the beauty of being a producer. I guess we'll start from the beginning, and if we get bored, I'll try to find the actual spot where he says the prophecies, because they begin with straightforward introductions, and then they get into what's going to happen. We're talking fertilizer bombs and things like that. So we'll see how this goes.
He is the pastor who precisely predicted Trump getting shot in the ear 3 months before it happened.
I wouldn't use the word precisely. I kind of think that's what we've all been arguing about. He was close. He got close. He got the ear right. But yeah, close.
Close. It all perfectly. He warns of orchestrated attacks on Trump's inauguration and iconic properties in detail. He also accurately predicted and prophesied the latest terror attack in New Orleans.
Again, close. It was New Orleans and Las Vegas were among a list of cities.
Oh, yeah?
And I gave him, we talked about this last week. I gave him New Orleans, Las Vegas, and I gave him Nashville because they specifically prayed against Nashville, but there were other cities that nothing has happened as of yet. So it was among a list of cities. But it's still a simultaneous attack in two cities It's still pretty good.
Yeah.
It's still pretty good. Like I was before, if we'd had more time, remind me, I am going to try to do this. I suck at math, but I'm going to try. I want to know what the statistical odds of predicting 2 simultaneous attacks in 2 cities on the same day, like getting those 2 cities right amongst all the cities. Like, what are the odds of that? You know what I mean? Like, there's a way to calculate it. I just don't know how to do it. I'm going to have to look up how to do it. But you like calculate the number of cities he predicts versus the number of cities there are in America, and he's got to get 2 right. I don't know. I'm sure there's a way to do it, but it's above my pay grade. Anyway, it was unlikely is the point. So close, but not exact. And that's been the theme with Brandon Biggs. Close, but not exact.
But not as exact.
And then there's been some stuff that he gets very wrong as well. People keep saying that he's like deleting his videos on YouTube. I have not seen that. I know the accusation gets thrown around, but I'm a little dubious about it. Because I know, for example, Mike Winger got at least 1 link on his video wrong. And so I'm wondering if maybe there was some confusion caused by that. I don't know. But I'm a little dubious about him deleting his stuff. But I don't know. So maybe somebody can verify whether, like, where Winger got that, or where that rumor started, or what video are they referring to, or something. Maybe some more details would be good. Anyway, all right, I'm done interrupting for a little bit. We're going to watch this.
And now, Brandon Biggs, last days on YouTube, last days 247 on X, joins us. And I've been honest with the listeners about this. I'm very humble about it. I am given prophetic information as well. I've demonstrated that. And the Bible tells us in the end times, when the Antichrist power is released, God will release his people as well, and that our gifts will be made stronger if we humble ourselves. And I don't know. I absolutely know that's what's happening right now. I don't feel that. I know that. God isn't number one. God is everything. So, Pastor Biggs, thank you for joining us. We're going to break in about 6 minutes, but we'll come back after that. You've got the floor with what you'd like to impart to folks here.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate this. It's an honor. The Lord told me 3 days ago that you were going to call, and he said, Brennan, I'm going to have you go on there and tell them what's coming. And so I waited, and then when your lady reached out to us on Thursday, I was like, wow, Lord, you're so amazing. So it's an honor to be here. And so whatever you want to know, you can ask me anything.
Well, we've already posted your 11-minute report or warning, and obviously
I'm looking something up, so let me know
but I've seen
if you want to say something.
Power of how he works in mysterious ways. Did you get the feel from the message that this is a warning to stop it from happening, or was it that it's going to happen?
Well, the Lord told me to start the YouTube channel 2 years ago, and then he gave me new instructions for this year, and he said, you are to create a prayer army of people to come on and change things through prayer. And he said, I'm commissioning you to raise up 1 million people to do this. And so I've just been telling people that we're going to pray for Trump. He can't do this on his own. And this is going to take a lot of work, not just in the physical, but in the spiritual for what's coming. I've seen a massive storm trying to come upon our shores from coast to coast. And I'm telling you all, if you're not ready and you're not watching, I mean, I know Alex is pretty in tune for what's coming, but I'm just telling you all, there's a storm coming. And so it's going to take people believing God and standing on the wall, like a watchman on the wall, standing in the gap for what's coming and praying against this, because I'm telling you all, I've seen a lot. And so, I don't know if you want me to get into it.
Please, you got the floor.
Okay. This was back a couple weeks ago. I was praying, and so I was praying for the inauguration. Our team of people, we have 500,000 people now that are praying for President Trump and praying for this nation. And so in this vision, I mean, when this happens, I don't know when it's going to happen. The Lord just starts showing me things, and my ears get hot with fire, and so all of a sudden it's like a movie screen comes before me. And most people go, that sounds so crazy, but in the natural mind, if you're thinking in the natural, it is crazy. But this is the things of the spirit are not natural, of course. So what I'm seeing is when I'm just praying in the spirit, and I'm asking the Lord, I said, "Is there anything you want to show me? Is there anything coming?" And all of a sudden, I just seen like I'm saying, like this movie screen, and he just started showing me like he did for Trump's ear, and he warned me, that the bullet would fly by, and everybody thought, well, his eardrum didn't bust. But when you're looking into a vision and you're seeing something, I'm just describing the best of my ability what I'm seeing with the blood flowing down his ear. So I thought, oh, his eardrum busted because I didn't know the bullet was going to graze his ear like that. I just saw the bullet fly right by his ear, and the blood started flowing down. So I was putting something together, with my natural mind of what I'm seeing in a vision of saying.
All right, so we talked about that, how he always, he explained that he basically saw the bullet go by but not hit him. Yeah. So we need Cody going, this is ridiculous, because we need a debate. We don't have him right now, so we'll have to. But I think he was done at the Brandon Big stuff anyway. Anyway, I don't really have a whole lot to add to that. Yeah, he says he's seeing stuff, but then he basically adds things to it, and that's why he gets stuff wrong. That's kind of been his story.
Hey, Jen, welcome back.
Hello.
It's Jen 21629. She's back.
Oh, well.
On a live stream. She just said hello.
Well, hello there.
Yeah, that guy freaks me out. She said that.
Oh, about Biggs? Yeah. Well, it's interesting. It's the demeanor. And I think a lot of this is, the guy has this kind of animated demeanor, and I think that makes people kind of want to distrust him. So, I don't know.
She said thank you.
Yeah. So, for me, that's not enough. I'm trying to figure out, the details. I just don't know what else to say other than to repeat myself with this guy. It's how, yes, he's getting stuff wrong. That's definitely happening. But how do you explain the stuff that he's getting right? And what are the odds that he could actually get something right? And I just find myself scratching my head over that. Because yes, there are false prophets, and we've talked a lot about false prophets on this show. What exactly is a false prophet? Is it somebody who just gets visions wrong? Is it somebody who gets visions wrong and has bad doctrine? You had a comment that you were saying before the show, something about false prophets. They're basically all preaching good times and selling hopium type of thing.
Yeah, they say, they get on there and they say what people want to hear to make themselves look good, and then they gain a lot more followers that way, and people want to, they want the good things, prosperity, and so it's become a popular thing.
Mm-hmm. This guy ain't preaching prosperity, though. He's preaching fertilizer bombs and economic crashes. So, that's not exactly stuff. Yeah, it's not hopium. And he's going to be, if there ain't an economic crash in the next 4 years, he's going to look like an idiot. So, it's not feel good stuff. And if you look at what Benny Hinn did, Benny Hinn knew his crowd too. Yeah. It's when he's sitting there saying the homosexuals are all going to be set on fire in 1993. Complete garbage that was totally wrong, but it sold good to his crowd. You know what I mean? So it's the hopium is for this crowd, though. I mean, nobody really benefits from economic destruction. Well,
I mean, if you really look at it, a lot of people are already there. Their personal lives are already being economically destroyed.
So you think maybe he's basically utilizing the fact that people are already in pain, economically speaking, and so any degree of worsening of the situation could be misconstrued as an economic disaster? perhaps.
Basically, yeah. I mean, if you take a step back and just look at it, um, put them by society. I'm not saying this is like the Great Depression, but the numbers are there, and we're basically going through another Great Depression. It's just not as bad from
I've
certain
heard that.
perspectives.
They just keep monkeying with the numbers, so we don't actually know how bad it is right now. That's the impression I get. It's like, well, there's workforce participation rates, and then there's whether there's part-time jobs and full-time jobs, and the job rates have went up. That's because people are working 6 jobs to buy a loaf of bread type of deal. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming that that's probably right. It sounds like a government would lie its butt off and, shift the categories around to hide how bad things are. That's not surprising to me.
Well, I mean, there are certain people, they go to work, they work 3 different jobs, and one is to pay their rent, and then one is to pay for groceries, and then the other one is to pay just to be able to go and watch a movie or something.
Yeah.
Go out and have extra spending money.
Yeah, things are definitely bad now. Remember when I was a kid, you could go to the theater for $20. Now it's like $80. I'm like, how did that happen?
Well, it's because of the popcorn. You spend $10 on your ticket, and the popcorn is $20.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it's nuts.
Jen just said when he started talking about the flags, like the Palestine ones, and then the stuff broke out with the colleges, I was in a whoa moment and chopping heads off. I stopped watching him.
Oh, so he showed some violence on the video, and then she stopped watching.
Yeah.
So was he predicting those protests, or like what was the context around that video?
I'm not real sure. I don't remember that one.
See, I haven't followed this guy super close, so I don't know. I just know about that Trump prophecy, and I'm like, yeah, he busted his eardrum. He still got the ear, though. So I've been kind of baffled by it. And it's just an interesting anomaly to me. But,
well, I mean, even if Trump lost his entire ear on that day, there are plastic surgeons who could have recreated that ear that same day. So it's that.
Yeah.
It doesn't baffle me in the slightest that it stopped bleeding within an hour.
Yeah. Well, I respectfully disagree with Cody, who is not here to defend himself, and so I'm shamelessly rebutting him, even though he's not present.
What part are you rebutting?
I do not think the Trump assassination was faked, in the respect that Trump did it to look good. I respectfully disagree with our co-host, and I'm like, I find Brandon Biggs being a true, genuine prophet easier to believe than Trump dodging bullets just for a photo op. So,
Yeah.
he can rebut me next week. I don't care.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, she said none of it was going on at the time.
Okay, so he did prophesy. All right.
So, yes, he was predicting.
Interesting. So.
She said, I went down his rabbit hole of stuff. I just couldn't deal with it.
Gotcha.
He talked about drones, too, but not how we was seeing them in the sky.
Yeah. Now, I have seen some stuff about him mentioning drones. Let's see, what did he say? I think he said they were like surveying people who didn't have the chip. Like he was referring, like in one instance where he was talking about drones anyway, he was referring to if you didn't have the mark of the beast, the drones would like track you. Like they would fly around and follow you and track you until the, I guess the end of the world SWAT team came and took you away, or the Antichrist's SWAT team, or however you want to word that. So I remember him talking about drones in that instance.
Yeah. Yeah, she said, yeah, that one.
Okay, yeah, I remember that one. I don't think I've seen much else. The only other thing I really remember him seeing, like really seeing from him, was he's talked about how Neuralink, which is interesting. I bring it up now because he says something about Skynet later in this video, and I don't know if we'll get to it, but we could, so I'm going to bring it up now. He says that the Neuralink is basically going to serve as a drug type of thing, like it's going to zombie people out at the end. So it's like Elon Musk's tech is going to be used for some sort of grand evil purpose to mess up our dopamine and our neural receptors and stuff. So,
well, it's
yeah.
already helped out a lot of people that were devastated by the hurricanes and whatnot. So,
oh, you're talking about I'm gonna get my terms. It's not Neuralink. What's the other? I just blanked. Starlink.
Starlink. Yeah.
Starlink. Okay.
Yeah.
Forgive me. I'm low blood sugar, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I know Starlink has helped with that. I think people have been kind of freaking out about the Neuralink thing.
You want some coffee?
No, I've got I've got nicotine and stuff that's only for 18-year-olds caffeine wise. So I should be fine.
Oh, okay.
Nicotine is fantastic. Don't smoke though. I can't recommend that. I don't think that. Anyway, I'm digressing.
Don't vape either.
Yeah. Anyway, so people are freaking out about the Neuralink thing, and so he said that the Neuralink is going to mess with the neural receptors in your head and kind of turn you into a zombie type thing. So that's some of his end time stuff. So anyway, that's about all I know as far as I think that's everything I've really seen from him. But anyway, moving on, let's see what he has to say about Jones, or to Jones.
Blood's flowing down his face, his eardrum busted. So you're adding to, so, you know, I'm learning, don't add to or take away from anything what you're seeing. So that being said, this is what I saw coming for, I believe this is not just about the inauguration, folks. This is a lot more than that. This is huge. I saw because he attacked, you know, whenever he assassinated the man in Iraq.
Okay, to take Cody's position, that, boys and girls, if he is a false prophet, would be considered a qualifier. Because if nothing happens in inauguration, or on inauguration day, then he can go, well, it's about more than that. So now you've got him kind of weakening his position a little bit, if he isn't a true prophet. So you got to watch wording like that. So let's see. I mean, I'm not saying he is. Again, still in the, I guess you would, I'm in the I don't know camp, but that is definitely a qualifier.
Assam Sumalani, I guess is his name.
Yeah, the Quds Iranian guy.
Yeah. Okay. So whenever he did that, they're still really upset about this, and so that's what the Lord was showing me is this what they're planning is bigger than terrorist attacks. This is actually an invasion of an act of war for what I believe is coming. It's not like, well, we're saying, well, this is Al Qaeda. This is.
I'm just going to flat out disagree with you.
Well,
no,
people have been
it's
talking
not
about
Iran.
that since like, you know, for a long time. People have been talking about that one.
Well, to quote Cody, sources, high sources, that politician guy. Yeah, no, everybody's been trying to blame Iran. Like, it's not Iran. It's the government. They're trying to start a war for Iran. And if his vision has any... Again. I don't know why they've got it. They're like, they just want Iran so bad. I don't know what it is, but...
I don't remember where I saw it, but one person was talking about how it's from biblical. It's a biblical thing. Is
like, what do you mean?
There will be wars from that part of the world, and they're going to take out like other powers and become the one world government.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. I just know that the deep state has just been salivating over Iran for forever. And so they're going to, if they can manage to murder the president, they will definitely blame Iran for it.
Yeah. So and Reap said military clergy equals Satan.
Military clergy equals Satan.
Or money sign Atan.
Ah. You're going to have to expound on that because I'm not sure what you mean.
No, the money sign just is for an S.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Because I don't know. I don't
Gotcha,
know if Satan will be picked up as bad words or not in the chat.
I don't know. We're going to learn.
Let me find out.
So, yeah, no, I just know that whatever's going on, Iran didn't do it. In fact, Iran backed off and was like, "Look, we're not. If he dies, it wasn't us." You know, so like they made us very clear that they're getting framed and it ain't them, which I believe them. I'm like, look, we're the bad guys, but it's not us this time. We swear. So yeah, it's the deep state. It's not Iran. So I don't know what he's referring to in this vision, and it by blaming Iran. But no, if we get there, and I think we will, note how Alex Jones. Like, I don't know if Alex Jones was consciously covering for him. I'm not going to assume his motives. But watch when he finishes and they come back from the break. Notice how Jones reframes the conversation. This was very interesting to me. Not saying he did it on purpose. Don't know the guy's head. But it was very interesting what he does here, because this was certainly incorrect with Jones's interpretation of what's going on. And I tend to agree with Jones on this. Whatever's going on, Iran is not doing it. It's the Fed. But anyway.
Which Fed?
This is actually Iranian.
The Fed. The Fed. Uncle Sam, your buddy. He's the shadowy puppet master.
Government coming over here. They've come across the border. I saw them in tunnels that were being smuggled in by drug traffickers. And I saw tunnels. What the Lord showed me is these metal. It looked like metal-looking structures, and they were underneath the earth, and they were actually going from Mexico into America into these like houses, and they were smuggling like they would do for human trafficking and drugs and all that. Well, I saw these men, and there's literally 1,000 of them.
See, look at his face. I'm not a body language expert, but I have read a book. See those squinty eyes? Those squinty eyes mean I don't know about you. That's what that means. According to one book I read.
From Alex.
Yeah, look at his eyes. You see how his like lips are kind of pursed and he's kind of all scrunched up.
He's trying. He's trying to discern whether or not he's telling the truth.
Yeah, that's like, I don't know about you, buddy. That's that kind of scent. You can see his radar starting to go up. That is interesting.
I saw over 1,000 men that were being smuggled in, and I'm talking big money. This was not just like a little bit of money that I saw that they were paying the drug smugglers and for funding to get over here. But the Lord told me, He said, I want you to focus on fertilizer. And I didn't know what He was saying at the time, because I saw these like farming equipment, and I was like, Lord, what are you showing me? And all of a sudden I saw because it was like silos, but He was trying, in a vision, He's trying to show me what's coming. So I saw fertilizer, and the Lord said, I want you to remember Timothy McVeigh and remember what happened in Oklahoma City. And so I saw all this fertilizer for quite a while since they've been here. They've been coming over for a long time now. A little at a time. I've been seeing these men.
Brandon, I'm sorry to interrupt you. We got a hard network satellite break. We're coming right back to you in a few minutes. Please continue. And we got breaking news on this as well. Please stay there, Pastor. Ladies and
okay, so I'm gonna skip ahead here.
It's breaking.
Buy Alex Jones's stuff. It actually is pretty good. I do recommend.
You're pretty good.
I don't know anything about silver coins though.
Ooh, how much are they?
I don't know.
Oh.
I skipped over the ad. All right,
that's right. Okay.
So this limited edition, Battle for the Republic, 2024 on one side, and Inauguration commemoration on the other is powerful. It's made of these prophetic things that have come true. And it's not like He puts out a giant volume of this.
All right, so this is the part I was talking about, and it times out really well because we're about at our first 30 minutes. But notice how Alex Jones, who looked kind of cynical in those last few shots. Trevor, would you affirm that although I am not a body language expert, he does look rather cynical in those last shots?
You can be my body language expert.
Answer the question.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. I needed an affirmation. I'm like, I'm not crazy. That is a skeptical person right there. So notice what he does during this, though. Notice how he kind of reframes it, and it shifts the conversation subtly. So just pay attention to this. Now, I'm not saying Jones is lying. I'm not saying anybody's lying. I make no commentary about people's characters. But this is interesting. Like, maybe they disagreed on this and they had a discussion. I don't know.
It's not like it's Nostradamus that would do some vague thing, and 100 years later, something like, a king got killed in battle by being shot in the eye. Well, that happened all the time with, crossbows and the rest of it. No, I mean, this is specifically Trump falling down, blood on his ear, getting back up, being a new man after that, going on to win the presidency, all of this. And he's done other similar things. Now, I've seen them pre-programming that Iran is going to attack. So if the deep state kills Trump, they can blame Iran. But separately, and he's just seeing the image. It's up to us, to try to see what we see from that. He doesn't add anything to it, and that's key. I've experienced that myself with some of the similar things that have happened here with myself and people have seen on air. It's been demonstrated. But Biden allowed all these Iranians in. We know they came in, the Quds forces, the Hezbollah, and we know they've come in with the same backpacks, gear. It's come out in the Border Patrol reports that they are Iranian government military. And so we know that the Democrats have had a backroom deal with Iran, gave them tens of millions of dollars. So there's a lot of deep state stuff going on. Did the deep state contract with them for a coming attack? Then we've got helicopters scanned for nuclear irregularities over D.C. The Secret Service prepares for worst-case scenario at inauguration. Now they've moved it inside, they say, for cold weather. You've got these famous Hezbollah connected people saying, oh, you'll know who I am soon. You've got the attack in New Orleans. Here's a short clip, and we'll go back to the pastor on them scanning for radioactive material, perhaps a nuke, and then it'll be blamed on Iran? Or, I mean, we go to war with Iran? I mean, or is Iran involved? Here's a clip.
An exclusive look at how security officials are prepared after months of planning.
So, crane to your left. Got it.
From only 150 feet in the air, pilots dodge buildings.
And tower to your left side. Got it.
Flying in a grid over the National Mall to scan for radiological or nuclear irregularities, threats like dirty bombs.
So you're trying to create a blueprint of what the radiation in Washington, D.C. looks like ahead of the inauguration. Correct.
Department of Energy scientist Jacqueline Brandon calls this low-flying helicopter one of just 2 of its kind her office.
If we find a radiological irregularity, we'll investigate it even further.
Highly sensitive technology sets off alarms in the air.
That's an alarm. That is an alarm. It's a slight variation in our spectra is what it's saying.
All right, let me add a few other stories and then go right back to him and give him the floor. Trump.
Okay, so I'm going to kind of explain what I think was happening there. Obviously, Jones does not think it's Iran. He thinks it's the deep state going to blame Iran. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Go back and listen if you think I'm wrong. But it sounded like Brandon Biggs was trying to make it sound like it was Iran. Like it was going to be Iran. So he had a discrepancy. So Jones, excuse me, kind of reframed it so that it's like, no, it's the deep state going to blame Iran. But Brandon Biggs is only showing you what he's seen. You know what I'm saying? Like, did you catch that? Am I misreading that?
No, I'm following along. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it seems like was going on to me. So you're going to see, so I'm going to stop there, actually. And then, because I just saw this, because I don't pay very close attention, apparently. But before we end the episode, I want to actually, it looks like they actually clipped out his exact vision. So if you guys want to see the full interview, it's literally, I'm going to read it even though it's like crazy long. I don't know if they do this for the algorithm or what, but it's full interview. Pastor Brandon Biggs, whose prophetic predictions have shocked the world, warns of impending mass terrorism targeting at least 10 U.S. cities and Trump's inauguration. So really just go to band.video and look for Brandon Biggs' face, and you can see the interview. But there's the title. So there's that. Now I'm going to click over here and see if this actually talks about the main vision. Yes, verify me human, me person. It's very James.
For just a few more days, every order at thealexjonesstore.com gets a free limited edition.
I saw a blonde woman
Yeah, okay, so let's skip past...
Blonde woman.
Yeah.
There's lots of blonde women.
Yep. I'll let you tell me what you think. This is what's supposed to pass, or the potentials that are supposed to possibly happen during Inauguration Day. If I'm right, which I'm pretty sure I am.
I had some prayer people that are, they're not flaky. They hear the Lord. I know they do, like I do. And they had a dream that he was fatally shot at this event on Sunday. And it was live on TV. And they said, Brandon, we know that the Lord has showed this to us in a dream. And so we want you to pray about this. So we've been praying and interceding for him for this event on the 19th. And so I have seen 3.
Okay, so I'm wrong. Not an inauguration, but this thing tomorrow on the 19th. So this is actually tomorrow.
Another 2 more attacks, 2 more assassination attempts coming on his life. I saw a blonde woman with a French twist she was really beautiful. And she walks up to him and was trying to introduce herself. She had like this ballroom gown sequence dress on, and she opens fire on him and shoots him point blank in the chest, and tries to assassinate him then. And so in this vision I've seen praying against this blonde-headed lady, and I don't know who this is, but she was a very beautiful woman. And so then I've seen him being assassinated again later on in his presidency. The Lord said, you must pray against this one, because this is another plan. This is not going to stop. We've got to continue to intercede for this man to finish his race and what God has called him to do, because it's vital. Folks, if they weren't, if the enemy, I'm going to say the enemy, there's Satan himself, if he wasn't scared of what's about to happen, it's all about what's about to happen is a major revival. The Lord has showed me a major revival that's coming from sea to shining sea. And we're going to see the greatest move of God we've ever seen on this planet ever. And Trump is a major part of bringing forth the stability in this nation to bring forth this major revival that I've seen that the Lord is about to have. I'm talking millions of people are about to come to Christ. There is a great shaking to awaken that's going to shake every nation. And people don't realize what's about to take place. And the global elitists and these evil people, I've seen them. It's from BlackRock and the child trafficking rings and all the stuff the Lord has showed me. And the Lord said, you must pray for Trump and for his children, because if they can't get to him.
Okay, I was looking up stuff. So catch Trevor.
Yeah.
Did he actually say any specifics about the assassination attempt that was supposed to happen during the presidency?
I personally have not heard one.
I didn't catch any specifics either. Now, what did he say about the inauguration? I'm blanking out. Okay, so what did he say about the the day before the inauguration? Did he mention the blonde woman already?
I heard somebody say something about a blonde woman, and then that's when you change videos.
Okay, so maybe he hasn't said it yet. All right, so let's just finish this and see.
They'll try to get to what's important to him. And you must intercede for Don Jr., because Don Jr. is a target. And he said, Eric, and he said, pray for those 2 men, because they will try to murder these 2 men in the days ahead. And you must intercede for them. And I've seen attempts on them, and they were successful in the visions what I've had, that they would actually...
Maybe I'm just a cynic, but I don't really feel like you need visions to know that. Like, you should be praying for them anyway if you're going to... Like, if if you're a Christian and you believe in prayer, you should be praying for them anyway, because I'm pretty sure, they've probably been trying to kill these guys for a while.
Who's Eric?
Eric's one of Donald Trump's kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I heard him say something about Eric. I was like, well, who's Eric?
Yeah, I think it's Don Jr. and Eric, and then Barron. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think that's right. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Do we have anybody else on chat? Has anybody said anything on chat?
I've been kind of... If you notice, I'm kind of off in another world. I'm talking to Jen on chat.
Sweet. That's fine. I can't check the chat, given what I'm monkeying with the volume.
She's just talking about. She's been all over YouTube for 4 years, and then what got her interested was looking at Canada with the trucker convoy protests.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was awesome. So
yeah.
All right, so we'll finish this up real quick.
It would be similar to like what they call that for what's coming is like the Kennedy curse. What I'm most concerned about right now, what I feel pressing is just getting him, inaugurated. Just getting the man inaugurated. We have to have him in power. And
this is such a dangerous next 2.5 days. And by the way, Trump has officially put out a statement on Truth Social and X. He is moving it into the rotunda at the Capitol and opening that to whoever in the public can get in. We've got his statement right here on screen for TV viewers. Please continue, Pastor Biggs.
Wow, praise God. I'm glad he's doing that. That's an answer to prayer right there. That's a huge answer to prayer.
I have been...
Well, that is a good news. I'm glad they're having it inside. Because Benny Johnson's been talking about Dan Bongino threatening that there's a possibility of drone swarms.
Dwarm. Is that any word? Is that a word?
It is now. You're welcome.
There's your word of the day, folks. Dwarm. A swarm of drones.
A swarm of drones. Yes, so that is good news. All right. That's all I've got on Brandon Biggs, guys. I feel like I've risked playing it out just by talking about it again now. But with him being on Jones and, the inauguration happening, I thought, well, it's probably good to go over it. Because if nothing happens, if there's no blonde girl, which I don't think it was that, I can't remember if it was mentioned at the beginning of the video or not. If there's no blonde girl that shows up, nobody sees a blonde girl with a French braid. Well, there you go. And let's see, what was some of the specifics? Some of the specifics were there were 3 Iranians that he was supposed to mention, 1 that was heavy set, and 2 that were slightly skinnier, and then a blonde girl with a French braid shooting Trump in the chest. Well, and then some other assassination that's supposed to take place in the future. Like that, like everything I've seen here is just ambiguous enough to be useless. And I think this is kind of Mike Winger's point. It's like, this is the kind of stuff that you would look for in a fake prophecy. I can't explain the ear thing, and I can't explain the town thing. This I'm way more dubious about, because it's like, you can't... Okay, if the blonde girl never shows up, well, then prayer was answered. If she does show up, I was right all along. Like, you can't catch him,
So he covers all this.
Well, if you notice at the beginning, he covered it with, this is so much bigger than the inauguration. That was a qualifier to let you know that he wasn't talking specifically about the inauguration. Like, if you're going to take the cynical interpretation. But this guy is so frustrating because he shows signs of both. And I guess that's why I keep going back to him, and that's why it annoys me, because it's like he gets some things right, and it seems too specific to be scattershot, but then he does stuff like this where it's like so broad you couldn't possibly nail him.
Another viewer is so Enrique said teleprompter.
Teleprompter? Like Biggs has a teleprompter?
I guess God's just like, typing in, there's your teleprompter, read it off.
I guess, man, it drives me up the wall. Like, I don't know. So, okay, maybe this is the last Brandon Biggs video. Maybe.
We'll see.
We'll see. Something else may come up. I don't know.
Unless the Simpsons predict something else that you can use.
See, like, it's not even about seeing whether the guy's like a false prophet or not. I want to know how he's getting the stuff right that he is getting right. Like, I'm like, if this is a magic trick, I need to know how it's done. But if it is from God, I don't want to, like, say somebody isn't from God who is, and my lack of understanding in theology is causing me to miss it. Like, I don't want that. But at the same time, I'm like, if this is a technical trick thing, I want to know how he's doing it. Because there has to be something that he's doing to at least get in the ballpark. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
it annoys me. This, like, annoys me a lot. Like, I'm
Getting
not...
under your skin.
It is. It's like, it's not that I'm going to get bothered either way, whether he's true or false, but it's like, I need to know what's happening, be it true or false. It's driving me crazy. So, anyway. So, is somebody... You're reading the chat. Is somebody else saying something in the chat?
Oh, Jen just said, I doubt it. I'm shocked Simpsons haven't found this guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to not drop the Brandon Biggs thing, go on to the next topic. So, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
If you're lucky.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Faith, Fiction, and Folklore. If you did, we would love it if you would subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Rumble. We can also be found on X, Instagram, and Facebook. And we are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. Thank you again very much for listening, and we'll see you next time.